Hello everyone, myself Dr.P.Aruna Devi, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Technology, Dr. lSNS Rajakshmi College of Arts and Science. Today we are going to see about data flow diagram. How the data flow diagram is useful in the software engineering, requirement modeling, etc. Let me see the diagram. So the flow diagram representation. This slide shows the flow-oriented structures. So the data flow diagram DFD, it is a diagrammatic form of the given project or our work. So it may be, for example, it may be a old school approach. Flow-oriented modeling continues to provide a view of system that is unique. It should be supplement other analyzed model elements. Next. So the flow model, this shows the structure of the computer-based system. That is, we can send the information from one input to another one. It is a normal diagram to represent the given process. So flow modeling notations, here there are different symbols which are used for modeling. So first one represent the external entity, second one represent this process diagram, third one represent data flow diagram, fourth one represent data store. So which is used to store the information during the process. So external entity means it is a like a resources where we start and where we send the information. Next, the external entity, it is a procedure or consumer of data. Example, it may be a person, it may be a device, or it may be any sensor one. So another example computer-based system is data must always originate somewhere and must always be sent to something. That is a process between the either it may be a customer or it may be a system to another person. Next, we are going to see about a process. The process means data for transform changes input to output, something which happen between the input and the customer. So we have to represent as a process. Example, computer taxes, determine area, format report, display graphics. Data must always be processed in some way to achieve system functions. This is called as a data flow diagram. Data flow through a system beginning as an input and be transformed into an output. So it starts from an entity. After the entity, the data can be sent to the data flow. After that, we have to make some process. So here it may be a base, for example, it may be a height. We have to calculate some area. Like that, we have to represent the information in the data flow chart. Next, data store, which is used to store the information at the data. So, sensor report required, for example. So, if we are sending some age or location, we have to extract from the outside. Again, we are collecting some location and age information. We have to store the information in the sensor data. Whenever required, we can extract the information from the sensor data and make a process. Next, data flow guidelines. There are some guidelines we have to follow before starting the data flow diagram. There are different level of data flow diagram. The level 0, the level 1, level 2. Level 0 is a basic model which we represent the workflow, basic flow of the diagram. Whereas in level 1, it extends the given entity, external entity, how the process can be manually calculated. This should be represented in the level 1. After to final one is called as in level 2. So we have to represent the diagram in depth clearly. It can be understood by the users. Next. So level 0 data flow diagram should depict the software as system as a single bubble. It can be represented by the single bubble. Primary input and output should be clearly defined one. So refined should be begin by isolating candidate process, data object, data store to be represented at the next level. All arrow and bubble should be labeled with a meaningful name. Then only it can be understood by all the customers as well as the users. So all arrow and bubble should be labeled clearly. Information flow continuity must be maintained from level to level. There should be a clearly define the level 1. Then only we can easily transmit the information. One bubble at a time should be defined. Constructing a DFT level 01. So here the level 01 can be represent the review the data model to isolate data object and use grammatical parts to determine the operation. We have to clearly define the word while developing the DFT diagram. So determining external entities like producers and consumers of data, creating a level 0 DFT. This is the structure of the level that is a level 0 diagram. Just I considered a simple example, sensor example. So a round shape define the save for software, whereas in process diagram, control panel, sensor, control panel display, alarm, telephone. These are the process symbol. Arrow represent the data flow. So we have to collect the data, sensor status, telephone numbers, alarm, and etc. From this, I conclude the data flow diagram, basics level 0 diagram. Thank you.